infestors use their fungal growths, not when they want to at all.
This is, wow, these two Zerglings are doing still an amount of damage. They're still able to kill off some drones, and wow, even viOLet burrows them. That's a really nice way to increase their utility throughout the duration of the game. We do see that Leenock has finally transitioned back into a +2 missile attacks, as Leenock is just trying to salvage something. You know, he's trying to get a strong army base so he can fight and confront the army, but you know, viOLet's been doing a pretty decent job still putting on counter-aggression. You know, Zerglings to summon back the Meos, that way they can't harass that much.
Yep, viOLet is ahead 7-4 on the infestor count, which is very, very important. But Leenock is ahead on supply, also ahead on drones, 58-47. So viOLet is kind of trading off this drone amount to try and be building up infested energy.
Again, viOLet with an early Hydralisk den. This is really cool to see in response to Mutalisk.
There's also a lot of harassment at the third of viOLet's here. Roach is doing very well, and again, these Lings just running around everywhere. The third still slightly under attack, yep. Did manage to clean that up, but I believe he got a few drone kills there from viOLet.
And, well, that's gonna, I mean, just small little posts here and there, but nothing really too serious. Leenock droning like a madman. He's up to 60 compared to viOLet's mid-40s drone count. But, of course, we all know what viOLet's up to. He's in the middle of tech switching. He could prepare like a giant attack with Roach Hydra like we saw last game with Infestor support. Because, you know, you're trying to catch that awkward moment when, you know, their opponent is not really prepared with that Roach-based army, especially since Leenock went for a 4th hatchery, which is pretty greedy.
Yeah, but Leenock is going to have that extra Vespian gas from that 4th base, and making 9 drones at this point. That's like almost daring viOLet to attack. And if viOLet attacks, you can probably abuse the fact that there are only, well, actually, 8 roaches for Leenock and only 13 for viOLet, so pretty safe actually.
viOLet also using some cool old school tactics of contaminating hatcheries. Used to be very popular, but then they they increased the contaminated energy cost, so not very popular as well. Leenock sitting on a very nice drone count, and the most important thing is that he's harvesting from 8 geysers. That's going to give him a pretty nice, comfortable advantage. Just look at the income difference as Heavendom is showing you. Meanwhile, viOLet, of course, trying to pad his unit composition. He'll have a very nice window where he has a much better army with higher DPS. But if Leenock sits on this advantage for much longer, I'm feeling that viOLet or Leenock's just going to run away with the supply advantage.
Yep, viOLet is making a lot of Hydras here and Roaches. When you start to make Hydras, obviously you're not making Infestors. If you're not making Infestors, you're not banking up energy, which is what you really want to be doing. Leenock, on the other hand, is still making 3 more Infestors from this point of view. So Leenock wants to play for the late game. He already has a tremendous amount of Infestors. It's 13 Infestors to 7, and with 3 more on the way, so it's going to be 16 to 7. That's going to be the key. Can viOLet kill him before those Infestors just provide too much energy and too many infested Terrans?
I think the window is closed now. viOLet is really far behind in terms of everything now. His drone count's lower. The Infestor count will start to favor Leenock inevitably, and you know, and Leenock's been ahead in upgrades, and he's had this 4th for so long. I mean, Leenock's already maxed, and he's already moving out. It's going to be really tough for viOLet to hold 35 roaches to just 17, but he does have 10 Hydras. I mean, this is really difficult for viOLet to hold, but if he does, it'll be pretty amazing, and he has to utilize this ramp. Oh, he catches more Infestors on viOLet's end, and he's going to try to do everything. Leenock's just shooting all of his Infested Terrans out, but I mean, viOLet just wants to disengage because that's a lot of wasted energy unless Leenock can just target down the 4th base in the middle. Yep,
that's what he's going to go for. Nice bomb kill.
Ooh. Well, I guess Infested Marines and Marines are bad against Fungal. viOLet cleanses us pretty easily, and I think he still has no idea about this 4th base. He's really feeling like he's playing evenly with Leenock, and it's again very deceptive. Leenock able to deny vision. He's a mastermind with that. His mutas have been floating around the top half of the map for the longest time before they got cleaned up, and as a result, viOLet has no clue.
Yep. Leenock also playing really sneaky. He's leaving 5 Infestors back home, the ones that got hurt, and at the same time making a bunch of Spine Crawlers, probably used to defend his 5th, making extra hatcheries. He's going to have a lot of larvae, that extra resource we talked about. And viOLet, well, he has 4 hatcheries, and he doesn't even have a queen yet for that 4th hatchery. When they remax, which they inevitably will after the huge fight, Leenock will have the advantage there.
Yeah, look at Leenock's bank. It's sitting very high, and he can go for a big remax. Leenock even has burrow movement, and we've seen him do pretty cool stuff. A lot of Infestarans once again for Leenock. His superior Infestor count and his superior army count is going to overwhelm viOLet here at the 4th base, as a huge chunk of his army was dealing with the roaches at his 3rd, and that's going to allow viOLet to, or Leenock to keep pushing forward. As well, viOLet doesn't really have the ability to remax the way Leenock does, and supply difference is continuing to increase.
Yep, very nice fungals from viOLet, but I don't know if he can hold here. Those Infested Terran, their DPS is so high. It's going to be very tough. Well, he got his own Infested Terran, but those roaches with Burrow and Tunneling Claws just popping right back up.
And Leenock is making, he made 19 Hydras in response to his army. He's going to continue to float some more DPS back into his composition and pressure. Leenock is sitting in a very nice spot where he can get 5 bases, continue to just to press his advantage, and not allow viOLet to ever comfortably get 4 bases up.
Yeah, Leenock just keeping the pressure on. viOLet, I bet, thought that he could pressure there, but again, the larva difference and even the bank difference, Leenock's going for the kill here.
Big fungal here from Leenock, as he just has so many Infestors. What can you really do in this situation? viOLet's trying to hold on, but the Hydras and Infested Terran combination with the missile attacks are doing a great job. Now, viOLet does break through the initial front, but he's going to also clean up everything here with the fungal from Leenock. And Leenock's supply, army supply, is just too big. Look at the difference, almost double in favor of our Bruiser.
Yep, taking that 4th base early really paid off for Leenock. It's letting him kind of just outproduce, right? It's 70 drones to 50. That's going to be just going to carry him into victory here.
All right, well, viOLet can't hold on any longer. GG. And the game is slipping from viOLet until the point of no return. Leenock takes game number 3 and jumps up to a 2-1 lead.